Are you a breeder looking to showcase your show pigs? With a Walton Webcasting Show Pig Shoot, we are your go-to video service for capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk to pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner, Laird Premium Blend Genetics from premiumblendgenetics.com. Next up, it's Beck's Hybrids from BecksHybrids.com. And here comes ShowRight from ShowRight.com. Coming around, we have Brad Howe Ford from BHIFord.com. And here comes First Farmers Bank and Trust from FFBT.com. And rounding out the racers, it's Kennedy Ventures from KennedyVenturesOK.com. On the track and in the ring, it's all about collaboration and teamwork. Join us in honoring our premier partners because together they're the driving force of the livestock industry.
It's time for Cattleman's Congress. This is a Walton Webcasting production. Livestock like you've never seen before.
show. We'll start with the junior show, welcoming to the ring Mr. Brandon Cottrell of Wharton, Texas. We would like to also remind everyone in the back holding area, specifically in our Simmental holding area,
We've got two really nice Bradford heifers over here on this side. The heifer I start off with is the stretchier of the two. She's a little more extended down her spine, she's a little longer and more feminine right up through her front end of her skeleton. Female that probably handles her hind pastern a little better on the move, and I sure appreciate that extra length and extension that she brings to us today. The one we've got in second is the deeper sided of the two, but she also gets a little bit shorter coupled, maybe just a little bit more jammed up in her neck, but I like that extra body that she brings to us. Pound for pound, she's got some muscle and some bone, and I appreciate that about her. Just want to maybe stretch her out from end to end. Congratulations on both of these heifers.
Congratulations, and a good way to start out the Junior Bradford Female Show. First place in Class 8, exhibited by Megan Williams. That was CB Miss Lady Lou, 302. Second place will also go to Megan Williams with CB Miss Piggy, 1007.
The single entry Bradford female that we've got over here is one that's got some body to her, some depth and some capacity there, and in the way she turns and has some shape to her rib, and I appreciate that about her. One that I really appreciate the amount of bone that she moves around with, and just a nice heifer that's got some really nice features about her.
Well, congratulations. First place in Class 19 in the Bradford ring, going to Megan Williams with CB Miss Meggie, 801. We're going to bring in those first and seconds. We'll select a grand and reserve grand champion.
champion drive of these Brayfords over here. You can kind of pick your poison because there's 3 different kinds in these heifers. The one out of the first class is the long extended one that's really feminine. I appreciate that about her. One, when you set her in motion, she travels with some reach and freedom of movement, and I really like that about her. The one out of the second class, she's the one that's got the extra body, the extra rib shape, probably not as long bodied as that one ahead of her, and probably not quite as feminine as I'd like to see one, but I do appreciate that extra capacity that she brings to us. For your champion today, I'm going to go with one out of the youngest class. Really like that extra femininity and length. Going to keep them together in that youngest class and go with that really nice square built one that we've got a really strong top end for reserve.
Well, congratulations over here in the Bradford ring. Results in your fall heifer calf division. Champion exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Miss Lady Lou. Reserve will also go to Megan Williams with CB Miss Piggy.
Single entry pair that we've got on the Brayford side over here. One that female that is very conventional in her size. She's nice in her joints. It's got some freedom of movement to her, and she's plenty feminine enough. And from this side, she's got a nice even udder with some decent enough sized teats on her. She gets a little light in that front quarter on the other side, but she's doing a nice job raising a nice strapping bull calf. So congratulations on your single entry.
Another class.
Here in our Junior Bradford show, the quality is very nice. The heifer out of the young one, we talked about her in class and division being so long-bodied, so long and extended up through her front end. But you set this one into motion, and she moves around the arena very comfortably as compared to the other females that we've seen. One that's very nice and attractive from the side, and I appreciate that about her, and she's got plenty of depth. And you stand in behind her, and comparatively, as you compare her against the others, she's as thick as any of them. And she's one that fits together pretty nicely for me that I like. The cow that we've got out of this older division, I appreciate the symmetry on this side of her udder. One that's very nice and balanced on this side with very nice teeth. She gets, like we said earlier, she gets a little light in that one front quarter. I appreciate that moderation of frame size that she has and the conventional type that she is. One that probably doesn't handle her skeleton quite as comfortably as the one that precedes her in the other division. She wants to get a little more slope there at her pins and maybe get up under herself as she put her into motion. But boy, she's got a really nice strapping bull calf that she's doing a nice job with and raising them very nicely. For your champion heifer today, she's going to come out of the youngest division up here. Congratulations. The heifer that comes back in for reserve consideration is one that we talked about earlier in the class, being extremely deep-bodied, one that's got some bone, especially in relation to her frame size as we compare to some of the others. Really appreciate her moderation of frame size. As you get her into the motion, she wants to get a little closer to her hock when you set her into motion and wants to taper a little closer the closer she gets to the ground. If we could balance her up, maybe make her a little bit more feminine, I'd like her just a little bit better. The one for reserve out here is going to be your pair. Congratulations to you out of that oldest division.
Well, congratulations in the Bradford ring. Your champion goes to Megan Williams with CB Miss Lady Lou 302. Reserve champion will also go to Megan Williams with CB Miss Meggie 801.
In the youngest bull class here in our Brayfords, we've got a nice 4-month-old bull calf that's got some length and extension to him, but he's also got some masculinity for his age. He stands on a good set of feet and legs with plenty of bone, brings us some top shape to him, and you stand in behind him, he's got some width from stifle to stifle. Just a nice quality calf that's got plenty of room to grow and plenty of future. Congratulations.
Another really
Single entry bull on the Brayford side over here, one that's really stylish in his makeup. He's nicely balanced. He's extremely long bodied, really nice and extended and up-headed, and I appreciate that about him. Brings you a really nice look and exceptionally tidy in his sheath, and I appreciate that about him. For, you know, our American breeds, I really like the angle to his sheath and the really tight way he brings it to us today. One, I might like to square him up a little bit on his hind legs from his pasterns on down to the ground, but really have to stand off to the side of him and really appreciate that really nice balanced look that he brings to us. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over in the Brayford ring. First place in Class 42, exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Mr. Simba 901. Back over in the Simmental ring, results out of Class
In our Bradford Bulls over here, we've got 2 to pick from for champion and reserve. It's just the preference that you like them in. The bull for your champion today is going to be the older bull, the long-bodied, really stylish, eye-appealing bull that's very nicely balanced and extended. And I like him a little better to the angle to his sheet that he has. So he'll be champion. The young bull will be reserve. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Your junior champion bull exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Mr. Simba 901. Reserve champion will also go to Megan Williams with CB Muscles Mr. Moose 802.
What a nice calf.
That we've got over here is one that's got lots of growth, lots of performance. She's long and extended out through her front end and's got plenty of grunt to go along with that extra frame that she has. Congratulations. Even though she's a single entry, she's high quality.
And congratulations, reserve in that division coming.
As we roll into our open Brayfords, we start off with a high-quality pair of heifers here in this first class, both of them in April heifers. Both of them are very comparable in terms of femininity and in terms of of body and things like that. The advantage I give to the one that I have up here in first, she's got that extra depth of body. One that not only has that extra depth and that extra middle to her, but she's also offers just a little bit more balance as we see her blend from shoulder back, and while still maintaining enough femininity in this particular class. And you get behind her, she doesn't disappoint you either. That's a really nice heifer to start off with. Not to take too much away from the one that we have in second. I love this heifer in terms of her youthfulness. She's very long, extended, and I appreciate that about her. Doesn't have quite the center body that the one leads out with, but and maybe not quite as nicely balanced, but still very nice heifer. Appreciate the bone and the feature that she has in the breed character that both of these females exhibit. Single entry that this gentleman brings us today. You love that strength of top that she has, and she's very attractive all the way from her shoulder, the top of her shoulder, all the way back through her hip and out through her pins. Really nice and attractive that way. One that's super feminine up through her front end, and puts a lot of nice things together. She's conventional and moderate in her frame size, and I appreciate that about her. We'll see how she stacks up when we get her back out here for division.
Ring results at a Class 2 first place exhibited by Sendero, Bradford, and Brangus, with Miss Sendero Agropal Nancy 282N. Second place in that class will also go to Sendero, Bradford, and Brangus. We then brought in Class 3 first place exhibited by Dancing Diamond Ranch. We're now welcoming Class 5. In this class of 3 Bradford heifers, I'm going to leave them as they come to us today. The heifer that we start out with, one that's fresh in her condition, one that's got some plenty of turn and shape to her
loin and down and out through her stifle when you stand in behind her, but you step off to the side of her and she's pretty attractive too. Nice and balanced and feminine enough, and I appreciate that about her. I'll be the first to admit that she probably gets a little bit rounder out of her hip than I would prefer, but I think when you step off to the side of her, she combines the most good things in terms of not only having enough bone, but also having enough muscle while maintaining some fleshing ability while not going over the limit, and still being feminine enough. So congratulations on your class win there. The one we've got in second here, Standing Still, I really like the way she is there at her hip. A bit leveler, a nice strong top, nice patterned heifer from the side that's very well balanced and eye appealing. When you set her in motion, she doesn't handle her hind legs quite as nicely as I'd like to see her, and she's probably starting to get a little overdone there in her brisket and down through her neck in terms of her conditioning. If we could trim her down at this stage of the game, I'd like her even better and maybe make her move just a little bit freer, but that's a real attractive when you get her stopped and put together. Then we finish out with one that's still got plenty of bone, plenty of mass to her, and you appreciate that about her. Just comes to us in a little type package, maybe not quite as nicely balanced or attractive as the two that lead out, but you really like the bone that she has and the extra substance that she has. Really nice division of Brayfords that we've got over here. Out of the youngest class, we've got a pair of heifers that were really nice, and I really like the breed character that both of those had. One that wins that class had the extra body to her. Pound for pound in this lineup, she's a big boned one. She's got lots of balance to her, and you set her into motion, and she handles her skeleton very nicely on the move. She's attractive, and I think she knows it. But I love that extra body that she brings to us. Might want to refine her right there through her neck just a little bit, but in terms of breed character and heat tolerance, she's got plenty of skin for me, and I like that about her. The one we've got out of the single entry class in the middle here was one we talked about in class being so strong and level down her top line and very long spine, one that's youthful in her appearance, and I think she's just right in her conditioning. As we compare her to the heifers on either side of her, she probably gets a little straighter on both ends of her skeleton, but I do like that extra feminine look that she has in that really strong top. The one we've got out of the last classes, here's one that brings some extra growth to us. She's got plenty of bone and stands on a good set of feet and legs. One that, if we critique her a little bit, wants to get a little rounder out of her hip and rolls into that hip when you set her into motion. But I think she's right in her conditioning. She's nice in her balance, and she's nice in her breed character as well. In this particular group, I'm going to stay up here out of the youngest class for your division champion, and those two heifers in that youngest class matched up pretty good. We'll keep them together.
Well, congratulations, your champion heifer calf, exhibited by Sendero, Brayford, and Bringus. Reserve champion will also come out of the same class, also exhibited by Sendero, Brayford, and Bringus. We'll now welcome in Class 8.
Wasn't too long ago we saw these two heifers in the same class in the junior show, so I'm going to keep them the same way as I did before, and I'm going to opt for the heifer that's got the extra length and extension, and one that brings us just a little bit more femininity from that shoulder forward, and I appreciate that extra length that she has. The one out of the second hole, we talked about her earlier, having a lot of depth of body. She still does, and she's very nice and in that regard in terms of having a lot of center cavity there, and one that I appreciate her moderation of frame size and the extra bone that she has. We just want to stretch her out a little bit as compared to the heifer that leads off.
Well, congratulations in Class 8 over here in the Brayford Ring. First place exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Miss Piggy. And second place will go to Megan Williams with CB Miss Lady Lou 302. We'll now welcome in Class 9 before the division. 7
Another single entry over here on the Bradford side, and one that has plenty of center cavity to her, and she's got some bone and some foot to her, and you appreciate that about her, and she's got some extra substance and turn to her rib. I really like that about her. We'll see how she stacks up when we get her back out here division and discuss her a little closer. In this division that we've got of our Bradfords, the one out of the younger class is the one we talked about having the length and extension. And in this particular lineup, she also offers the extra angulation to her skeleton on both ends. There through her shoulder, there her hip and hind leg, and the way she travels and the way it all works together. She moves together very fluidly and nicely. One that I'd probably like to strengthen her up in her top line if we're going to pick on her just a little bit. But I love the extra length and extension and femininity that she brings to us. the one out of the older class. This is the one that we talked about having that extra center cavity. She's big, she's big-middled, big-ribbed, and really nice in that regard, and one that's got ample amount of bone to her when you look at her here from the side. One that if I'm going to pick on her a little bit, I'd probably like to make her a little bit more feminine. She wants to get a little wider browed, a little bolder there over her brow, a little wider in her forehead when we start talking about femininity and things like that. If we could balance her up just a little bit, that'd help too. But for your division champion today, I like that really long-bodied feminine one up here up front. And we're going to stick with the same class with the other young lady's female that also has some femininity to her, just maybe not quite as long bodies as the heifer that we use for division.
Two classes.
Simmental. Bradford ring, your champion fall calf exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Miss Piggy 1007. Reserve fall calf goes to Megan Williams with CB Miss Lady Lou 302.
In this particular class, the female I'm going to start with is the heifer that brings the bull calf to us as well, but one that's very conventional in her size. She's nice in her joints, one that's very nice and feminine and really nice in there at her udder, especially this side of her udder. If I'm going to pick on her a little bit, I'd like to make her a little more even on that front quarter on the other side, and maybe just pick her up in her pin set just a little bit if we want to critique her, but she also brings us a really nice bull calf. Now, here in second, here's one that's got a lot of growth, a lot of performance. She's got some muscle and bone to her, and if you need to inject that into a cow herd, here's one that can do it, and she brings us a really cool look in terms of her color pattern. Really like that about her. As we compare her to the cow that we've got up front, one that I'd like to see a little more angulation there to her shoulder, a little more angularity to her hip and hind leg as we set her into motion, and like to see her move a little bit freer. But there's one in terms of breed character. I really like her. I really like the added growth that she brings to us today, and one that still offers plenty to a breeding program. Congratulations to all of you.
Well, congratulations, your champion senior yearling, exhibited by Megan Williams with CB Miss Meggie 801. Reserve champion will go to Dancing Diamond Ranch with DD 1849, Miss Golden Nugget 312. We're now going to welcome in those division champion reserves. We'll select a grand and reserve grand champion, Bradford female.
In our champion drive of Bradford heifers out here in the youngest division, we've got a unique heifer that we've got up front here. She's got some style. She's got some presence. When you step off to the side of her, I really like the balance that she has from front to back. She's long and extended up through her front end, and I appreciate that about her. And then you roll into the behind her, and she doesn't disappoint you any because she's probably, especially pound for pound, she's the heaviest muscled female in the group. But one that just puts a lot of good things together, and then you set her into motion, and she does so very, very handily and freely when she's on the move. I'm going to pick on her just a little bit, and maybe if I could make her just a little bit more refined about about her neck, I would. But I like that breed character and that she has, and the features that she has, and the loose hide that she has. And I appreciate that about her. And if I could make her a little bit more refined there in her teats, I'd appreciate that about her. But that's a unique one there that combines a lot of good things. The one we've got out of the second division, the long, extended feminine one. We've talked about her every time she's been in the ring about excelling in the same things. You know, and I still think she has ample muscle and ample bone to go with that. Probably not quite as strong and right there behind her shoulder as the heifers on either side of her, but one that I do like that extra functionality and angularity to her skeleton that she brings to us. The one we've got out of the oldest division, there's one that we like, that fact that she's in the stage of production that she's in, bringing us a nice bloomy bull calf that's got some stoutness to him. And she, from this side, we talked about her having that really nice udder of the group. She's made it this far. She's got a nice calf. She's entered in production, and she's got a nice udder, even though she does have that one on the offside that's a little light. If we could fix that about her, we'd sure like it. But in this particular group, when we start talking about skeleton, she wants to get a little straighter and more upright in her shoulder, but also she wants to duck a little more at her pins, and when you set her into motion, get up under herself just a little bit. But she's doing a lot of things right, and she's also got that nice bull calf. The unique one that puts it all together for me is going to come out of our youngest one. She'll be your champion in this particular drive.
Well, congratulations, your grand champion, exhibited by Sendero, Bradford, and Brangus.
For our reserve, as we move that other heifer in there, she matches her in terms of uniqueness. She's got some length, she's got some power and muscle to her. And this one, you roll her into the lineup, and she ends up coming as one of the heaviest muscle of the group as well. Like that extra length and extension that she has, and that's where she can kind of rival that one out of that second division. But she most closely follows that champion. She'll be a reserve in that term, having that extra look and extension with some added shape.
Boy, two really stout
In this particular class of bulls here, we've got a 3-month age spread in these two, so I try to take that into consideration when we're evaluating these two. The bull that we lead out with, one that just offers us a little more softness there through his center body, and I think he's a little better there in the his angle to his sheath, and I appreciate that about him. But I love that breed character that he has, one that in terms of heat tolerant breeds and things like that, it's got plenty of extra skin to help dissipate that heat, but one that when we're viewing him in masculine, like that head and skull that he brings to us, and he's already starting to get a little crest to him. But that extra body is kind of what sets him apart today in this particular class. The bull that we've got in the second hole, we talked about him only being 4 months old in this lineup. One that for his age still offers some masculinity. He offers some top shape. You stand in behind him and he's got some width over his hooks and maintains that width from behind. He's probably not quite as nicely balanced as the bull that leads off, and while he's got a tight sheath, it's still got a little pendulous look to it there, and if we could just fix the angle of it, I'd appreciate that. But a bull that's really square on his feet, moves very nicely when he does decide to get a move, and I appreciate that extra length that he has. Congratulations.
Results out of Class 24 in the Bradford ring. First place exhibited by NPH Bradfords, and second place in that class goes to Megan Williams. Now welcoming Class 25.
This is a really high quality set of Bradford bulls that we've got over here. Both of them are very nice. They've got some masculinity about them. They've got some muscle. They've got some bone. They've got some look to them when you step off to the side. Love the breed character that they have, that they bring to us today. Really not a lot of big holes. I'm going to start off with the darker colored bull because not only are both of these bulls masculine, the one that we start off with is extra masculine. He's really nice and about his head and neck there in terms of the crestiness that he has and the bull look that he has. But then as you work on back through his body, I think he's a little better in his angles, and the angle to his shoulder, the angle to his hind legs, and when you set him into motion, one that moves around a little bit nicer. But to go along with that, he offers you a little extra power, a little extra turn and shape to his stifle. He's bigger in his top, and one that offers just a little bit more center dimension. That's a really nice Bradford bull calf. The one we've got it in second there, not to take too much away from him because that's a nice bull calf as well, but comparatively it gets just a little bit flatter out of his stifle, and then when he's in motion sets down a little straighter on his back hock. But like I said, two nice bull calves. Congratulations to both of you.
In the 7-tall ring, results out of Class first and second, both exhibited by Sendero, Bradford, and Brengus. We're going to bring the first and seconds in. Select the champion reserve bull calf.
It's a really strong division of Bradford bulls. A bull out of the first class, we talked about him being a masculine bull, one that's got some center body to him, and he's nicely balanced, and one that's nice and they're in his sheath, and you appreciate that about him. I love that masculine bull head that he has. Just puts a lot of nice things together. A nice conventional bull that's still got plenty of breed character and quality to him. Then we come in, roll into the next class here. This bull has all the same features, just amplified. One that's got a little extra masculinity, a little extra muscle, a little extra to him, and just all those extras on top of a good, complete bull makes him our champion in this particular division. The lighter colored bull in for reserve consideration, one that's still got a lot of quality to him in terms of masculinity and things like that. When we start looking at him in his hind leg structure, especially on the move, one that gets just a little plainer there in his stifle, and one that as he sets down and plants on that hind leg wants to do so with a little straighter there in his hock. In this particular division, I'm going to go with the bull out of the younger class to be your reserve division. Congratulations.
Over here in the Simmental
Single entry bull in this class and division is the really long-sided bull that's super attractive. When you're standing off to the side of him here, I love the extra balance that he has combined with the length that he has throughout his skeleton. He's long-hipped, but he's also long up from his shoulder forward as well. And one that's excellent in his sheath quality in terms of the angle and design of his sheath, and I really appreciate that about him. We'll see how he stacks up when we get him back out here for the drive.
Well, congratulations in Class 70 in the 7-tall ring. First
Out here in our drive of Bradford bulls, we've got three very, very attractive animals. Bulls that are not only masculine, but bulls that have got breed character. They're good enough in their sheath, and they've got some mass to them, and we appreciate that things about them. When we start talking about masculinity, breed character, all three of these have got it, and they're all acceptable enough in their sheath. When we start talking about structural correctness and foot quality and things like that, the field gets a little wider. And I think when we start thinking about all of those things and putting it together and keeping foot quality and structural correctness in mind, we're going to keep those two young ones together. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your champion, Bradford bull, coming out of Class 25. That's exhibited by Sendero, Bradford, and Brangus, and reserve champion will go to NPH Bradfords.
This single entry F1 heifer that we've got here, like that really nice tiger stripe look that she's got, but one that brings you a lot of look when you get her off to the side of her. She's up-headed, she's long-necked, she's feminine, and she brings some extra growth and performance to us today too. So congratulations. Not only is she a single entry, she deserves it. She's a nice class winner. Congratulations.
Champion Bradford F1 female in your open show, exhibited by Madison Parker. We'd like to thank our judge this afternoon, Mr. Brandon Contreras of Wharton, Texas.
Thank you for joining us for Cattleman's Congress. This has been a Walton Webcasting production. Livestock like you've never seen before.